Hi everyone, I just wanted to take a few minutes to go over the class syllabus with you and discuss a little bit about how the course will run. So firstly, let's just jump straight into the syllabus and I'll go over some of the more important things with you. So firstly, this will be for Chem 1411, and this is with me. I am Dr. Sean Ridland, and I'll be an instructor for Chem 1411 and most likely 1412 if you're sticking with me. So originally this was a Saturday and Sunday class depending on which section you're in, and I'm still going to try to frame it like that as best as I can. The office hours we'll do through Blackboard Collaborate or maybe through Zoom or Teams, just depending on how that works out for everyone. I haven't quite decided on the exact day and time just yet, but I'll let you know once I have that nailed down. I don't have a phone number for you guys at this time. The best way to contact me will be through email, and you can see my email here. You can also use it without the my. That will work just fine as well. Okay, so next let's just get into the text. So for the lecture, this is the book that I'm following in terms of the way I'm pacing the class, the order the chapters are in. So if I say, chapter 1, this is what I'm talking about. This Principles of Chemistry, a Molecular Approach, and this is the Tro 3rd edition. If you're able to get a copy, or maybe you have a copy of a previous edition, that will work just fine. Or if you have another college-level chemistry textbook, that will also work just fine. There's also some online texts, such as OpenStax and LibreText, which I will link on the Blackboard. I like these because you're able to do things like search for keywords, and you can jump straight to what you're looking for. But the bottom line is I do not require that you have a text. So I'm not going to, for instance, sign you, homework problems 1 through 10 or something like that. I'm not going to do that. But if you're the type of person that wants to have a physical copy of a book to read the chapters, this is the book I'm following, so you're welcome to order that, or a previous version, or any chemistry text will work just fine. And again, I do recommend these OpenStax and LibreText, but again, use those at your own risk because the chapters aren't necessarily going to be in the same order. And just to kind of let you know what these are, is they are a collaboration of many textbooks, and they've kind of picked the best stuff out of all of them and put them together. Okay, but again, use those at your own risk, but you do not need to purchase a textbook unless you want to. For the online homework, this is the one thing that you do need to purchase is Sapling. So I will show you the Sapling site in just a moment. But the main thing you're looking for is the course. So you should see Trinity River Campus, Chem 1411, Fall 20, and then my name. So that is the one thing you are required to purchase for the course. The next thing will be the lab. So we'll do lab through a program called LabFlow. This is something we worked with over the summer and we'll be using again. So again, you'll want to find the course name. So Tarrant County, Trinity River Campus, Fall 2020, Chem 1411. And you will enroll with a special code, and that will put you into my class. I will discuss that code in just a few minutes when we get to the Blackboard section. So you don't need to purchase anything for the lab. So normally you would need to buy a lab manual, but there's nothing to buy for the lab this time around. So TCC is actually going to cover the cost for that. Special materials, the main thing that you'll need is a computer with a webcam, a microphone. You need to have Google Chrome installed, and it's a good idea to have a PDF viewer, PowerPoint, and Microsoft Word. Those are the main things you're going to be using. And if you have alternate versions like LibreOffice or something like that, that will work fine too. But you will need to be able to open Word documents, PDFs, PowerPoints, and you'll need Chrome, a webcam, and a microphone for the exams. So you will eventually need to set up Proctorio for the exams. I will go over that with you in a separate video. That way you can reference it anytime you need. The next thing you'll need is that you need a scientific calculator. So you'll need this for both the lab and for the lecture. And that means you don't need a graphing calculator. The only calculator you need is, I believe it's the TI-83, and you don't have to get that specific one, but just a scientific calculator that's able to do functions like square root, log, square, that kind of thing. But more than just a basic arithmetic calculator. You will need a scientific calculator. And I will need you to have a photo ID for the exam, since I don't know what you look like. I need some way of connecting you to your name with a photo ID. Okay, let's skip down a little bit. You can kind of go over the goals for yourself. Let's see. So the class requirements, let's see what's important to you. The attendance for sure is going to be important to you. So basically, I'm not going to nail you down to logging in on a certain day, but rather I will take attendance essentially once per week. So we're going to define the week as going from Monday to Sunday. So essentially every Monday I'll get on and make sure you've logged into both Blackboard and to LabFlow. And if you've logged into both of those at least once that week, I will count you as present. On the days when we have exams, if there's a lab exam, you'll be counted present if you take the exam. If there's a lecture exam, you'll be counted present if you take the exam. Okay, so just make sure that you log into Blackboard and to LabFlow at least once a week, Monday through Sunday, and then that Monday I'll jump on there and I'll take attendance. Okay. So there's a note here just to remind you that, or kind of to let you know, that you probably will be logging on and working on course content for several hours every day, at least several hours a week. Okay, so the once a week attendance is just for the purpose of putting it into the system, but you'll be not required, but you'll need to log in probably a lot more than that. So that should not be a problem for you in any way. Sorry, I'm just going through and trying to hit the important stuff with you. A lot of this you can go over on your own. So in terms of grading criteria, pretty standard A through F. And in terms of how I'm going to calculate your grade, there'll be 3 major exams. Some classes do 4, I do 3, but it's simply because we are on a condensed schedule since we're the weekend class. So I find that doing 3 lectures is much better on the students than trying to do 4, because it ends up putting the 4th exam and the final like back to back, and it's just not good. Okay, then your lecture homework will count 15%. Oh, sorry, your major exams are 45%. Your lecture homework, which is the sapling, will be 15%. The final exam will be 15%, and your lab average will be 25%. Okay, so we'll do 3 exams, then you'll have your homework, the final exam, and then your lab. And in terms of how I will calculate your lab average, so you'll have pre-lab quizzes, 10%, lab reports, 50%. You'll do a formal report for one of the labs, which will be 5%. You'll write an original procedure, which is sort of like a formal report, but without the actual data portion, which will be 5%. Your lab midterm will be 15%, and then your lab final will be 15%. And you can go through the breakdowns on each of these yourself. Everything will be on LabFlow, and I will cover that as well. Let's see. Anything else? Okay, another important thing for you is the calendar, or the schedule. So this is sort of mainly for you to sort of know what you should be doing in any given week. So you can see I have the date. So this is basically the day of the Saturday, which is when the lecture would be. But you'll have access to pretty much everything ahead of time. So you can move at your own pace, but this gives you an idea, okay, the first week I'm supposed to do this. The second week I'm supposed to do this. And that'll keep you on track in terms of pacing. And then that will also let you know when the exam is coming up. Okay, so I'm going to have the exams open for a few days. That way it gives you more time to find, a quiet time, to take the exam and to have enough time to sit down and really do well. And that way you can try to eliminate distractions as best as possible. And so I'll give you a few days for that. And then same thing with the final. But if you keep going through this, you'll see due dates for things like the homework. So you notice that the homework will always be due after the exam. That way you don't have to try to rush to finish the homework and you can focus on the exam. But it also gives you the chance to use the homework as a learning tool and as a study tool, but without having to worry about rushing to finish every single question. So if there's a section you know pretty well, you can kind of skip over that and finish it up after the exam, something like that. That's my intention, and I hope that you use it that way. So you'll see exam 2, exam 3, and then we'll have a final. So the final will actually be open for the entire week of finals. That's the way that TCC wants it, so that's the way we're going to do it. After that, you will find the lab schedule. So these dates will be a lot more sort of nailed down, a lot more strict on you than maybe the lecture is. The lecture you can kind of go at your own pace. With the lab, I need you guys to keep up with these dates. So you see here, so our safety, I need to change this. Oh no, that's okay. So what you'll see is you'll see the Saturday and the Sunday. And I did that because some of you are in the Saturday lab and some of you are in the Sunday lab. So I went ahead and gave both dates, but just know it's that week. You know, it doesn't really matter. But basically, what I've done is I've given you basically a week to complete the labs. So the first week you're supposed to do the safety, and then you'll have all the way until the next Sunday to complete that, basically. Okay, and then the next week you're supposed to do chemistry, glassware, and measurement. So the pre-lab quiz will be due that weekend. Okay, so the pre-lab quiz will always be due the weekend of the lab. With the lab report, you'll always have a full week to do. And hopefully that'll give you enough time to complete everything. And then you'll see the next week, okay, so now we go, so this is due on the 20th. Okay, so now we come, okay, that's the next week, the 20th. And you'll see the pre-lab quiz, okay, that's due today. And then I have a week to complete the lab. And then you'll see some special due dates, which I've tried to highlight for things like your formal report, where I'm giving you extra time to do those because it's going to take you a little bit longer. And we'll discuss those when they come up. But for now, just know that's sort of how it's going to work. And you'll see all your due dates and everything. And I tried to make these as accurate as I could. If you guys do catch any mistakes in the schedule or something looks funny, please let me know. It's possible I made a mistake there. Okay. And you will see things like the midterm exam, and then your final exam will be at the end of the semester. Okay, so I think that is about it for the syllabus. Below the calendar, you'll find some instructions about sapling, which I've linked you to on the Blackboard as well. And the last thing you'll see down here is just something to acknowledge that you've gone over the syllabus. So if you could just write a paragraph or copy this paragraph for me and send it to my email. And that just says, yes, you went over the syllabus, and yes, you agree to take part in the class. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about, this is something I put together for my summer students, and I've sort of adapted for the more traditional class. And this is just basically what it is that your role is, or what your tasks are every week. So the first week, obviously go over the syllabus. Make sure you go through the Blackboard and kind of figure out where things are. You'll need to sign up for Sapling, sign up for LabFlow, and then do whatever you're supposed to do for that week. Okay, so what do I mean by weekly tasks? So first thing is make sure you log into either Blackboard or LabFlow to be kind of present for that week. Make sure you're checking your email often. Hopefully you have your school email set to go to your phone so that when we send you things, you know right away. Make sure you watch the lecture video for that week. Try to keep up with those. Don't get too far behind, because if you do, you won't know, or you won't have time to ask me questions, and it'll all just pile up. So make sure you're trying to keep up with that schedule as best as you can. Log into LabFlow and make sure you complete that week's lab. Work on your sapling homework. So don't let those pile up until the day it's due, because they are pretty long. And they should help you with the exam rather than just being some task that you have to do. Okay, that's the idea there, is for you to practice what you're learning. Study for the exam. Go to the SOC, and we'll talk about what the SOC is, but basically it's chemistry tutoring or science tutoring in general. And it's completely free. It's online. You don't have to leave your house. And they are really knowledgeable, and that's what they do, full time, is they're tutors. So they are there to help you, and it's completely free. And if the SLC doesn't help you, or if you're not comfortable going to talk to them, you can contact me, and you can either come to my office hours, or we can set up a meeting outside of the office hours if those don't work for you. And I'm super happy to help you. That's no problem at all. Okay, and so this is just sort of a basic list of the things that I think you should be doing every week. And I will post this on the Blackboard. It's already posted, actually. And I'll post it as a Word document so that you can come in and edit these things so that you can remind yourself what it is you think you should be doing every week. So maybe there's something I left out, so feel free to modify this for yourself, and make it so that you can kind of keep track of everything you need to do, make sure that you've done everything that you need to do for any given week. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to get into is just to go over the Blackboard. I won't go over every single thing on the Blackboard, but I just want to go over a few important things and sort of show you how I have things organized, so that you can kind of understand the logic behind things. Okay, so the first thing you'll load into is the announcements page. And this is the main way I will communicate to the class. So for instance, when I post this video, I'll make an announcement and I'll send it to your email as well. And that way you'll get it right away, and you can also come back and click on it later if you need. And this is also a good way to sort of check in on anything important that's happened since you last came to Blackboard. So the first thing I have posted here is the SLC flyer. This tells you how to log into the SLC. It gives you their hours, so Monday to Friday 8 to 8, and then Saturday 10 to 4. Okay, and so they're there for you pretty much all day, every day, to help you with anything. And that's, if you're having trouble with a math problem that's chemistry related, or you're having trouble with chemistry, anything like that, they're there to help you, and they're really good at what they do. So please go see them. I cannot stress this enough. If you're stuck on something, don't just sit at home and think, okay, I'm just stuck and that's the way it is. No, go talk to them. And if they don't give you the answers or don't help you, come see me. Okay, no problem. We're here to help you, and we're super happy to help. And this is like your first line. That's what they're there for, and that's what they want to do. They want to help you. I don't know what else to say, but if you're stuck, make sure you go see these guys. And all the information about how to get to the SLC is here. Okay, so that's the first announcement you'll see. And then you'll see course materials, and I think a lot of you have come here already. So you see the class syllabus. There's a formula sheet and a periodic table here. This is the one you'll have for the exams. I've linked you to the sapling. You will see your sapling enrollment key here. I've removed it so that, because since I'm posting this on YouTube, that way it doesn't just go out into the world for everyone. But since you have access to the Blackboard, you'll see it here. And then I've linked you to the OpenStax and the ChemLibreText, and well as how to set up Proctorio. So there's just lots of good links here that just have to do with the class in general. Okay, next you'll see the lecture slides. So all the chapters that we're going to go over, all of my lecture slides that you'll see me going over in the videos, those are all posted here for you. Next is the lecture videos. And I've tried to organize these by the exam. So here's just a link to my channel, so we can go ahead and open that up. So when you load into my channel, the first thing you should see is my dog and my face. Then you'll see all my videos. So if you're interested in working ahead and I haven't maybe released the links yet, you can come find them here. They're all here for you. But I've tried to compartmentalize them to make it a little less overwhelming. So that's where you'll find all the lecture content. I made a demo for you. I may update this. Excuse me. I may update this, but it just goes over how to use LabFlow with you. The only thing is I probably talk about due dates in there, and if I do, you just need to ignore them. Okay, so go with the due dates that are current and not the ones I talk about for the summer. But if you come down to like exam 1, what you'll see is that I have all the videos laid out for you. So chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. Okay, so that's everything you need to cover for the first exam. And I will do that for every exam. Down below that, I have some practice worksheets for you, as well as the exam reviews that you'll need. So these are good things. It's basically a bullet point list that tells you what topics will be covered on the exam. Below that will be the lab. So anything lab related, I put in this lab materials section. So the first thing is how to sign up for LabFlow. And then again, your LabFlow access code will be here. So for some of you, it's the section number. For the class that's the 05 section, it's the other section number. That way we can all just be in one class. So I will write that here. Again, I've just removed it since this is going out over YouTube. We don't want everyone just having access. Okay, and the next thing you will see is the exams, pretty much empty right now, but you'll see how to set up Proctorio, the actual Proctorio link itself, and again, I'll go over this stuff when it comes time, and then the formula sheet, and then there's some data tables here that you'll need for one of the exams. Okay, so that is just the basic setup of LabFlow. I'm just trying to see how long I've been talking. Okay, I'm trying not to make this too long. Okay, and then just real quickly, if you come to LabFlow, let's just go back to labflow.com. Okay, so once you log into LabFlow, this is the course you're looking for. So Tarrant County, Trinity River Campus, Fall 2020, and then Chem 1411. Once you get in, this is what it should look like. So you should see the safety, and then chemistry, glassware, and measurement. And then you'll have a little scroll bar here where you can kind of go over and see everything. Okay, so this is what your LabFlow should look like. And then if you come to Sapling, again, you're looking for Tarrant County College, Trinity River Campus, Chem 1411, Fall 20, and then my name. And if you're not enrolled, so you'll come down here, and first you'll select Tarrant County. If you've never selected a course before or a school before, it'll be in this. But once you have it, you can go to things like General Chemistry, Semester 1, and then you'll see everybody for particular campuses, and just make sure you find the one that has my name. Okay, so that's here. Once you get in, it should look something like this. So what you'll see is a lot of practice assignments. So all these learning curve assignments, these aren't due. This is just extra practice for you. So what I do need from you is things like chapters 1 through 3. These homework assignments, this is what I need from you. Okay, anything that's marked as ungraded, that's strictly for your own practice. You can either do them or not do them. That's up to you. Okay. Let's see. So is there anything else I wanted to say? Okay, so I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to go over with you. So I'll just wrap up by saying welcome to 1411. If you have any trouble throughout this course, please feel free to contact me. I will do my best to get back to you as quickly as I can. Reach out to me through email. That's probably the best way to get a hold of me. And again, if you have any trouble, please let me know. Don't just sit at home and be stuck. Please, please, please talk to me. Okay, so welcome to 1411 and good luck.